Американская фирма Transceptor Technology приступила к производству компьютеров «Персональный спутник».
All I want to tell you is this. If you look forward and understand that, things are designed illusionary, then you got to step back and take a greater look at everything. And as you step back, you see more. And the more you step back, you start seeing a bigger picture. So everybody who is looking at things at the bigger picture need to understand that we're not alone. We're not alone. And with Charles Schwab and all these big wigs and people who we think are in charge of everything, just understand, if they wanted to, everything would be off. Millions would be gone. But the way they're doing it, I want you to understand. You can see it, so it's gonna make you slowly go, oh, let me, you know what? Since I didn't do that and this happened, let me start doing it. The United States ain't dumb. They know exactly where your mindset is and where everybody is. Every person who walks around and see a person do something dumb, you're just like, dude, they're not awake. So what I believe is what they're gonna do is they're gonna basically just slowly push on the brakes, right? So you have no way of, traveling. Some people can, I guess, because they purchased the tickets and they're just, finishing that off. I don't know. Banks, I heard there were issues. I'm in Puerto Rico, so I haven't experienced that. So when I start wondering, okay, what's the next thing, right? There's a website that started talking to people about, power outages in the United States. And you could see, Texas had a huge amount of, power outages, central area power outages. So, up in New York, you started noticing some things happening. But think about it. They left the internet on for a reason. They need everybody to put their detective work and understand that when everyone's participating in this, I understand what's going on, and they can track you. They know if you're buying stuff you need to protect yourself, because you know what? It's all ordering. I think a lot of this stuff might be even AI controlled. I'm not saying it is. This is for entertainment purposes only, but, some of the things you're listening, people are, regurgitating out of their mouths is like, wait a minute, what did he say? It almost sounds scripted, and then people are talking about, the attempt on Trump, and all I can tell you is you got somebody who was on the, where he was, and took some shots, if that was even him, and then people are now talking about a water tower that had a better angle, because ballistics can find exactly where that bullet came from. So we have a lot of collective energy that is like a brain processing everything, and everybody's giving up what they believe. Some are really far out, and some of them are, more towards home. So what I'm saying to you is, we all have ways of doing things we need to do, and you have to get your books together. Things that you need. You got people who need to get radios. Think about it. If the internet goes out, right, and your mobile phone goes out, what do you got? So everyone needs to really think. You can have power in your house, but if you have no way of communicating or doing the normal stuff you got, you're basically looking at a bunch of paperweights, because everything's going to say no internet, no internet, no internet, can't log in. Everything is on the internet. So what I recommend everybody to do is to look at their reality and start getting some hard copy. Go to Home Depot and get a printer. print out some stuff and put it in a book and then put it on a shelf. You know, get some, maybe a laser jet. I bought a laser jet under $300. Some people can't afford that, get a used one. And it will, you can get 2 cartridges for like $13, and you can print a lot. You can print a lot. And, you got to get, there's this other device I noticed online that we're talking about, the internet in a box, basically. It had all the wiki, it had a bunch of TED Talks, a lot of, survival, how-tos, things that you use the internet for. No gossip, no point, right? And I think it was about 300 gigs. And I also believe that people can go and download their personal version of AI, the 3.5. I think that's good enough. It's good enough. You get a couple of NVIDIA cards and you run that through with the database that you currently use and tell it to use that as a reference, and it takes time to scan because, that's the deep learning part. But it does have a lot, and you can say, hey, use that as a reference, take your time, I'm not in a rush, and let me know. So what I believe people are going through, people are saying that they are shifting or, time jumping. You can believe what you want. If you believe in that, guess what? That's exactly what's happening. If you don't believe in that, then it's not. Everything is just perception. So when you can see that your perception is getting jaded, get your stuff backed up. Get your beliefs up. You got, different versions of operating systems. You got the Mac, you got PC, you got Android, you got Linux. Because what's up with Windows? That could have been planned. Because they said, it wasn't a hack. Well, that means it was done on purpose. You see how they kind of put themselves in there? There's a lot of things going on. I wanted to put this video out. This is normally a late night lunacy, but you know what? It's still morning over here, so this could be my morning Java. I just had a couple of coffees, and I have a bunch of books that I'm reading, and I will have on. I put this on TikTok. I didn't say nothing. And I just did this. I opened up, a couple of these pages, and basically what happened within 20 minutes, whatever AI scanned that video, it's now unable to, you can't view it. I can't even view it. It says, guidelines. What guidelines? I don't know what they put in this little, AI to vet us, but it's definitely, behind our Fifth Amendment, where maybe it doesn't want to get itself in trouble, but we have the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, and then, we have all these other ways of thinking. And the problem is, you can't get these things. They won't let you have them. So the question is, what are you going to do? You got to have these things together to educate yourself. You go and you get your book and you write your notes. And on my channel, there's a lady. Her name is Polly, and she talks about, how to improve your life by just your handwriting. It's subconscious. We've been brainwashed. Everybody who don't think we're brainwashed, wake up. We've all been brainwashed. And when they talked about, hey, you can't put brainwashing, subliminal on the TV, radio, whatever, well, guess what? It never went to court. It never went to court, right? So if it never went to court, that means they're still doing it. And you can't do nothing about it unless you push back. So you all have an opportunity. That's why, the Chevron Act is gone, because now with the Chevron Act gone, guess what? they can't assume anything anymore. They can't just say, oh, because of the Chevron. There's 18,000 association on all the cases that prevent us from getting better in our lives. So what I recommend for you is to get your books, things that are important to you, put it in boxes, and see if you can download a copy of the internet. It's like 300 something gigs. And this first phase of the flights and the banking, that's phase 1. And then they're going to do another one a little bit harder, and the next one's going to be a little bit harder. So, people are being weeded out. So you're going to have to just think, take your time, and do you want to be where you are? Look at your job. Why do you go to work? Do you love what you do, or are you just doing it just to make money? And then what, all your plans. Imagine if all services was done. That's it. The only entertainment you're going to have is whoever lives next to you and what they do. Because you won't be able to get that on the internet. Anyone got a copy of something, that's it. And then you're all going to finally get together. Why? Because now you have to share. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'll give this away for free. And then guess what? Everybody does it for free. Why are you helping this person? Because they need it. Okay. That's it. That's all I've been trying to tell people. Nobody talks to anybody anymore. No one calls anybody anymore. No one says, hey, I was thinking about you. I hope you're good. Nobody. Everybody's too busy working. They're on their phones. They're doing whatever they need to do just to survive. This is a reprint. This book was printed in the 1800s. Right? In the 1800s. But the problem is, with this being in the 1800s, it's almost like a playbook. And then when you find out who Donald Trump's uncle is, and then you know that uncle got all the paperwork from the Tesla writings, everything starts coming together. Time travel, time jumping, parallel universes, CERN. CERN was not even a thing. And then every time they kept turning that on, they kept going back in time saying, oh, we've been doing this for a long time. And more back in time, and they said, oh, we created the internet. No, they didn't. They didn't create the internet. You know how the internet was created? The internet was created in the military, U.S. military, to communicate, and it was email. And when email was getting bigger, then the internet was wrapped on that. We already had a network. I love how people come around and start taking credit. Why? Because the internet is digital. I remember people were screaming on live about a year ago, oh, they're deleting the internet. I was like, what are you talking about? But there's a lot of things you can't see anymore. Everything is tags and this and that and the other. And why do you have all that? It's not about the information. It's about how can they sell you something. Everything is about selling, selling, selling. So when you wake up in the morning, you go, I gotta buy this. No, you don't. You don't gotta do none of that stuff. You just need to get your basics. And the problem is, nobody knows what that is. What is the basics? No one gets the basics. And if you can get the basics and understand these things, man. Figure it out, guys. I'm here in Puerto Rico helping my mother build the house she grew up in. So we didn't have internet for a long time. Almost 3 months. And when I was like, damn, this is like, I didn't know how addictive that was. Right? And then now I have internet. I don't barely use it. And I hear people freaking out. And I'm thinking, oh man, that's exactly what happened to me. That's what happened to me. So, these are the type of videos I normally do. But the problem is, nobody's ready for the stuff I say. People don't pay attention to the whole context of what I'm saying. And then they don't know that I'm making a story. And then, hyper acting, by over dramatizing things, but with information, you know? So I had a bunch of videos that was dealing with reality. And, you know, my words protected me. And I just wanted people to understand that you have someone who, basically, these books, if I read every one of these, which I'm not, because you can get that on the internet, you know, I have a community section where, you know, I have a bunch of posts. I have so many people on my channel that it's silent. So I don't think they're real. And that's okay. I know a lot of people who've been recently jumping on my channel are real, I hope. But, you know, what is going on? I've seen people with less people, and people communicate. Regardless. Mine, I have so much, and it's like, it's quiet. Is it the content I'm doing? Is it that it's not, you know, popping up? Is anyone getting my feed? Because even in my social media, I post some stuff and I have nothing. Not even my family. I go to my family, like, hey man, you see that post? And I'm like, oh, they don't have time. They're zombies. They're zombies. No one pays attention. I wrote so much stuff, it probably fits in a book. And some of it's fun, some of it's just imagination, and some of it is real. So when you're reading it, don't take anything personal. It's just, you know, ranting. You know? I love Las Vegas, but I see a lot of things that could be fixed. And you know what? The universe is gonna, like, it's gonna snap. It's gonna snap, and everybody's gonna wake up, and they're gonna be like, oh man, okay. Oh, okay, this is what we have to do. And that's it. There's nothing more than that. I got my sofa with a bunch of junk on. I got my bed, a bunch of boxes. And I'm in this little corner. You know, I go out, I exercise, I do my yoga. I taking care of my mom, who's 80. And a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening. You know, she used to have a lot of pain and not able to walk or get into the car and all this stuff. And I eat different, so I started cooking for her and, you know, exercising her legs, because she had an incident where she was on the floor. And she basically had a night terror. And when I realized that she, you know, shook herself off the floor, she basically woke up like, oh, I'm on the floor, not realizing. And she didn't have any pain, and she couldn't get herself up. And she did get herself up eventually, but she told me it took her about, 10, 15 minutes. She says 30, but I don't think so. You know, we over-exaggerate a lot. She's strong, but, Anyway, long story short, she got herself up. I told her, never do that again. You call me, I can hear you. I'm a light sleeper. And if she wakes me up and I help her, the way I would help her is like, are you in pain? If she says no, then I would say, okay, try to get yourself up. And I would slowly help, because now I got her doing exercises. She's got 2 empty water gallons, half filled, and she just exercised, moving her arms around. That's it. I see a situation and I try to fix it to all my, family, just to let you know she's fine. And that's why I do these videos, for my family. But I don't think they see them because, I got 1,200, 1,300 subs, and I don't hear anything from anybody. So let's see if, this video can reach to people and say, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. And in my community section, that's the rabbit hole. If you look at stuff and you read my post, some of them are full. You can put up to 5,000 characters, and I filled it, And, hey, I could be right or I could not be right. Some of the things I put on there are funny. Some of the things are just my thoughts. And when I'm gone, it's just my little record that anybody could look at. And I hope, I leave a little imprint for whoever likes what I'm doing. Other than that, I don't want to make a long video. It's about 20 minutes. Wow. Alright, guys. If you like this content, I'm going to see if I can put some music behind it, because I have a TV running in the background. Yeah, and even in the movies, if you watch movies, watch TV, Netflix, all that stuff, all the things you're watching are designed. Everything's designed. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it at 20. Love you, subscribe, and follow.